Born on June 12, 1929 in Frankfurt, Germany, Anne Frank lived in Amsterdam with her family during World War II. Fleeing the persecution of the Jews, the family went into hiding for 2 years. During this time, Anne wrote all her thoughts, wishes, hopes and dreams in a diary. She was 15 when the family was found and sent to the camps where she died. Her work, The Diary of Anne Frank, has gone to be read by millions, and one of them is me. I was in Year 4 when I read her diary, and I was amazed. I was so influenced and interested by this girl, and that led her to be one of my biggest role models. Anne Frank had been in hiding from the Nazis for 25 months with her family and friends when the Gestapo found them. Her house was searched for everything of value. One of the men found Otto Frank's briefcase where Anne's diary was kept. He spilled the contents all over the floor. Anne said nothing. Everyone appeared incredibly calm, and they stayed as silent as the men pushed their only possessions of value out the narrow door. They were allowed to take 5 minutes to get ready. They gathered their belongings, but Anne didn't take her diary. She left its contents strewn on the floor as she took her last look at her secret home, her life, the only world she had known for almost 3 years. After the family was arrested, they were all taken to concentration camps. Edith Frank, Anne's mother, died of starvation in Auschwitz on January 6, 1945, a day before the camp was liberated. Margot, Anne's sister, and Anne herself both died of typhus in Bergen-Belsen. Margot in March 1945 and Anne in April, a few weeks before it too was liberated. Otto Frank, her father, was the only survivor from the family. When Otto Frank returned and entered the now abandoned home and annex, he noticed a drawer open in the antique wooden dresser in the corner. In the drawer was a green folder marked in Makepeace's handwriting, Anne's diary. He opened it. He read it. He thought to himself, as he sat on the hard, cold wooden floor, "This is all left of my Anne. I hope I will be able to confide everything to you as I have never been able to confide in anyone, and I hope you will be a great source of comfort and support." Anne was the type of person who always looked to the bright side of things. Even when she was in hiding, she never doubted the fact that she would get out of there alive. She said, as one of her first impressions of the annex is an ideal place to hide in. It may be damp and lopsided, but there's probably not a more comfortable hiding place in all of Amsterdam. No, in all of Holland. Most people would have been in severe depression if they were forced to leave their home for a place like this. She would also sometimes prefer the annex to the outside because it protected her from the danger on the streets. She referred to it as a little piece of blue heaven surrounded by heavy black rain clouds. A hero should always be positive, and that is what Anne was. She never gave up hope, not until the moment she died. Anne and her family lived in a secret annex for almost 3 years without ever once setting foot outdoors. This would require extreme patience just to be able to stay in the house from 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., 10 hours straight. Anne must have been calm, even-tempered, if she lived with the same 8 people, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3 years. Anne Frank was a very strong and brave person. When she was younger, living in the Netherlands, her teacher described her as someone who always spoke her mind, someone who liked attention, liked to make people laugh, a little comedian. They also said she was very mature for her age and had a good sense of herself. To keep herself strong, she used a diary received for her 13th birthday as an outlet for her fear. "When I write, I can shake off all my cares." Her personality was strong, which in turn allowed her to show her great bravery in life. She must have had extremely brave to sit in bed at night and hear the sirens, taking away friends and family. She also heard the bombs, the explosions, the war raged around her. For her to be able to handle this and still go on through a normal, semi-normal life as recorded in her diary proved that she was so brave. By writing her famous diary, Anne Frank helped the world understand that the 6 million Jews killed in the Holocaust had faces, they had lives and personalities. She has been called the human face of the Holocaust, and her personal record of her struggle to keep her hope alive through the darkest days of this century has touched the hearts of millions. She helped teach people that the Holocaust did happen, and it was a horrible thing. Without her help, the world would never know the intensity of the pain caused during this time. A boy who was once so moved after he performed in a play about Anne wrote to Otto Frank and said he realized that not only does Anne stand for the Jews, but for any human being who suffered because of his belief, color, or race. Anne Frank is a hero because she was optimistic, patient, unselfish, and strong. For some, she has been someone to look up to. For others, she has been a victim of wrongdoing that will help to prevent the same tragedy from happening again. She died unjustly. If she had lived, she could have been someone who was famous for her life and not her death. I must hold on to my ideals, because perhaps the day will come when I'll be able to realize them.